Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of String Spark the podcast. And I pray everyone listening has had a good week this past week and that everything's going well with you. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about diligence. And here at String Spark, diligence is a huge part of everything that we do. And it's something that I personally and my team all really work hard at and make sure to nurture in ourselves, because if we do anything, we don't really commit to it, it can't have that good lasting impact. Additionally, it's also a value that I also do my best to instill in my students who I teach, because as you progress in life, diligence becomes more and more important and crucial to achieve your goals. It's definitely a value that we're all trying to instill and then also to practice. And also in general, diligence is very important to be able to see the fruits of your hard work and labor, and also be able to be a positive impact on the people around you. Alright, so to get started, I'm going to be defining what exactly diligence is. So, diligence is to zealously seek for something with all of one's heart, strength, and might. So what does that really mean? Well, in my eyes, I think that diligence means to really not stop when you face obstacles concerning whatever it is you're doing. Maybe you're taking hard classes in school. Yup. And the homework is getting harder after first quarter. All the classes. So even when classwork or tests or studying for stuff gets hard, diligence is not giving up in those moments and still doing your best to push through them. And this is also definitely applicable to our aspirations, definitely outside of school as well. And then also our passions and ambitions. And we all have passions and ambitions, but why is it that some people achieve them and the vast majority of others don't? When in the end, we all have the same goal to maybe get that position or achieve something you've always envisioned yourself doing. Why is it some people are seen able to do it and others aren't? While there can be a lot of other factors, a lot of the time it can unfortunately come down to laziness and not getting around to doing what you have to do to reach your goals simply because you don't want to do it. However, on this topic, really two quotes that have stuck with me and have really helped me reframe my mindset around work and diligence and discipline would definitely be these two quotes. First, laziness is the idolization of comfort. When I heard this for the first time, I really was taken aback because I didn't really realize how much I actually looked forward and idolized comfort in my life. For example, the week starts and I'm already looking forward to Saturday when I have something more fun planned other than going to all my classes every single day. And while there's nothing wrong with looking forward to things you enjoy, there's definitely something to be said for living just to get to the weekend or just surviving through the week. I really don't think that's the best and healthiest way to live. At the end of the day, we do have school, we do have work. It's good to enjoy these things, and we shouldn't idolize or obsess over comfort. And we should rather learn to enjoy the journey of working hard and being able to see what your hard work reaps. And also finding your joy in just being able to get to a place where you can have comfort, such as you want to, well, in music, in music and in orchestra and stuff, let's say your goal is to be first chair. You want to be first chair of your section, and let's say you hit that goal, and then you're first chair, and it's kind of then what? If you only have a specific destination in mind for why you're working so hard, so you can finally relax once you get there. Once you get there, you can often feel stuck, and what did you do all this for if this was all there was to it? I think this is really the quote that made me realize that it is important to enjoy the journey, and you can't only obsess over the outcome. You have to enjoy being able to get better every single day. The second quote that really stuck out to me the first time I heard it, I think I heard this when I was probably 8 years old. So the second quote is, discipline is remembering who you want to be. So this is why it's so important to have reminders to keep you being diligent, such as maybe your lock screen on your phone, or maybe as your background on your computer, just to keep you inspired and also remind you of where you want to be, and maybe at the end of high school, at the end of college, once you're graduating. Just having goals and a vision for yourself for what you want your future to look like is so important, because if you're just in the midst and you're going through a season where you're working really hard and there's a bunch of challenges you have to overcome, and work is getting hard, school's getting hard, actually curriculums are getting hard, If all those things seem to like be crowding down on you, you have to remember why you're doing it in the first place. So having reminders of that will definitely help you in becoming a more diligent and applied person. The next thing I want to touch on is that every single thing you do has a cost. Like you're never not trading something for something else. Every single thing you do has a cost, and you can't pretend you're running away from stuff. Even though I like to do that sometimes, definitely something I'm trying to stop and grow out of. I'm actually going to use economics to illustrate this, okay? So stick with me. I'm going to make a little graph. Alright, so I'm showing a whiteboard right now, so if you're not watching the video, highly recommend you watch the video. It's on YouTube. Channel is called StrengthSpark, and this is the second episode for reference. Alright, so for those who can see the video, and also those listening, this graph is going to be called laziness. Oh my gosh, I actually can't write like that. Wait. Let me okay. So the graph is called laziness. How do you even spell laziness? L-A-Z-I. Okay. Searched it up, got it spelled right, I think. Okay. And so now I'm going to draw the graph. One line this way, one line. Okay. And now I'm going to draw the line. So this is going to represent the supply of laziness. So supply, as for supply. And then the demand for laziness. And then down here is going to be the quantity of laziness. Okay? And then over here is going to be the price associated with this equilibrium or like balance point of supply and demand for laziness. And then here's going to be the equilibrium point for the quantity. So let's say that when you feel like you're not doing anything wrong, like maybe you just want to take off for like an hour after doing like a reasonable amount, like 2 hours of homework, and now you're taking an hour break for TikTok. I could see myself possibly like reasoning that out and be like, okay, I did twice as much work as I'm scrolling, so it's fine. You're here, you're at the equilibrium point, everything seems stable, and let's say let's just use $1 for this amount of laziness. You're okay with it. It's not that much money that you're giving up by being lazy. Like, it's a reasonable price. So you're at $1 when your laziness seems pretty under control. But let's say you keep demanding more laziness. You want to be more lazy, you want to spend more time on TikTok, you want to, like, school's getting boring. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. So you want to be more lazy, naturally. Okay? So your demand curve for laziness is going to shift upward to the right. This way. Essentially causing the price of your laziness also to go up. You see what I'm saying? So instead, you're also getting a larger quantity of laziness. So, from this point, your laziness only used to cost you like $1. Now it costs you $15. Okay? Now it costs you $15. Now it costs you $15 because you're being more lazy. So you're foregoing more benefits and more good things that you could have had because of your laziness. This is not good from an economic standpoint. Now we're gonna work with the supply side. Let me just reset the graph really quick. Okay, so starting afresh, equilibrium still at $1, okay? For the supply side of laziness, if you increase the supply of laziness in your life, if you increase the ability and accessibility to being lazy, such as having your phone near you when you have to be doing serious work or working on a project or studying for an exam, this is going to cause, because of the increased like accessibility to it, an increase in the supply of laziness. It's going to shift right. However, this time we see the price go down. And we can think of this shift from maybe $1 to 1 cent. I know, pretty dramatic, but $1 to 1 cent. You can think of it as your time is now less valuable because you are filling it with activities and doing things that don't advance you, that aren't elevating you to where you ultimately want to end up in life. And this is causing your time to essentially be worth 1 cent. It's a sad story. It's not worth it. So from an economic standpoint, laziness is not beneficial. All right, now that we understand literally and economically why laziness is not a good thing, now we can get into some common misconceptions about laziness. Some common misconceptions about overcoming laziness and stepping into diligence. So one common thing people experience when trying to be more diligent in their endeavors and in whatever they want to do is feeling like they have to have the proper everything, the right environment, the proper setup to do stuff, and just be set in the best possible position to do what they want to do to be able to achieve what they want to achieve. Which is not true. Like, wherever you are starting from, that is okay, and you can make it happen. There's also a proverb about diligence and also laziness in my culture, and I'll go ahead and read it. So it reads, "The sluggard says, 'There's a lion outside. I shall be killed in the streets.'" And this proverb is essentially saying that when we don't want to do something, we will find a million reasons why we can't do it and why actually doing it is going to be so bad for us. Like, for example, if I don't want to do my homework, I'd be like, oh, I've been working really hard this week, so it's okay if I don't do this assignment and wait till tomorrow, minutes before it's due to do it, because I've been working hard. When in reality, these are all excuses, and it's good to take rest, it's good to relax when you need to, but you also need to definitely work when you have to work. So instead of looking at all the things that you feel like are in your way to starting something you want to start, doing something you want to do, just go ahead and look at what you have, be grateful for it, and work with it, and be able to, with enough hard work and diligence, be able to get where you want to go. Diligence is also just as much mental as it is, literal. Literally, diligence is being able to get, for example, if you're a to-do list person, get everything done on your to-do list, or get all your homework done, or turn all your assignments. But mentally, you also have to have the faith that you can achieve what you want to achieve. Because how you view yourself is going to be how you actually are. So if you see yourself as not worthy of anything, not worthy of success or reaching your goals, you're going to be much less likely to actually be able to achieve them, because you're going to act in accordance with the belief and self-concept you have in your head. So it's very important to have faith in yourself and believe that you can get to where you want to go. And no matter where you're coming from, you are definitely strong enough to overcome and achieve what you see and set out for yourself. Now I want to touch on how exactly you can get on being more diligent and applied in your life. But first, it's really important to find a goal or something that you really want to see yourself doing in a certain time frame. So let's say I have the goal of being a better teacher in my string spec music lessons. So, which I do, and I always want to improve. And this is going to help guide me in my pursuits and exactly what I'm going to do to get better at this. So, after you identify your goal, you're also going to want to identify your driving force behind it. So, why do I want to be a better teacher to my students, and why does this matter to me? Well, personally, being a better teacher is definitely very important to me because I have found lots of joy and fun through music, and something I really personally love and want to also see others prosper in as well. And it's definitely something that brings me fulfillment. So that's definitely my personal driving force. And for you, it could look different. It could be maybe you act or play sport. It can be anything, or it can be school too. It's just important to find your why and why exactly you want to reach a goal and advance in this area. And it has to be really personally curated to you as well, because if it's just too general and broad, it's not going to really get you through when you want to give up on your goal. Lastly, and probably most important, you need a system to be able to get through the really tough moments and keep yourself accountable and on track to doing better. So personally, I have a little teacher plan where I log lessons, and also at the end of the week, I go over what went well, what didn't go well, how I can improve the lessons and classes that I teach. And I also love to use to-do lists as well to organize, as well as Notion too. love Notion. And I would say those are the really three big things: finding a goal, finding your driving force, and then finally finding a system that works for you to keep you on track are really what it takes to apply diligence and do what you do well. And I think it's also super important to not expect yourself to be perfect or anything either too, because at the end of the day, making changes and trying to get somewhere takes time and a lot of effort. So really remember just not to give up on yourself when things even don't seem to be going your way. I also heard a statistic a little bit ago. It said that 92% of people will end up throwing away their New Year's resolutions. So when you really think about it, at the end of the day, if you're sticking with your goals that maybe you made at the beginning of the year, or maybe you just made last month or today, you're still sticking with it, even if you feel like you're not making progress, you're still winning, you're still doing well just by sticking to it. You're already doing good. Alright, so I'm gonna close here. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about diligence today and something to apply in your personal life. And no matter what it is for you, I wish you all the best. I'm hoping to get another episode out by next week, Saturday. So until then, I'll see you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you all the best. Bye. God bless.
Hopefully that was good.